Life often overwhelms us with stress, fear, and uncertainty, leaving the heart restless and the mind anxious. What if there were a simple, powerful way to find calm, strength, and protection in every moment? By reciting a single dhikr 100 times daily, you can reconnect with Allah, soothe your soul, and feel a profound sense of peace even during trials. This timeless practice has guided the hearts of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the righteous companions, Razi Allah ta'ala anhu, offering comfort and certainty in every circumstance. HasbiAllahu la ilaha illa Huwa means, Allah is sufficient for me, there is no true God except Him. The word Hasbi expresses complete sufficiency, declaring that Allah alone fulfills every need without dependence on creation. It is a statement of absolute reliance rooted in faith, not circumstance. La ilaha illa Huwa affirms pure tawheed, denying all false sources of power, protection, or control. Together, this dhikr is a concise creed of belief, combining trust and oneness in a single sentence. It reminds the believer that all authority, provision, and outcome rests solely with Allah, who is unmatched in His attributes. During moments of stress, illness, and fear, the human heart becomes vulnerable and easily overwhelmed. Remembering Allah in such times redirects attention away from uncertainty and toward divine control. This remembrance acts as a spiritual anchor, preventing the mind from being consumed by worry or despair. Illness weakens the body, and fear weakens resolve, but dhikr strengthens the soul. Through consistent remembrance, a believer maintains awareness that trials are not random, but measured with wisdom. This awareness nurtures resilience, steadiness, and emotional balance, allowing hardship to be faced with dignity rather than panic. The heart is constantly influenced by external pressures, distractions, and emotional turbulence. Dhikr functions as a purifier, gently clearing the heart from accumulated restlessness and mental noise. When the tongue remembers Allah, the heart follows, settling into a state of spiritual alignment. Inner peace does not come from the absence of problems, but from stability within. Through remembrance, the heart gains clarity and focus, no longer pulled apart by conflicting thoughts. This calm state allows a believer to respond thoughtfully rather than react emotionally, creating a sense of serenity that remains even when circumstances remain unchanged. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam consistently guided believers to place their reliance on Allah rather than on outcomes, strength, or resources. His teachings emphasize that true reliance is an act of worship rooted in faith, not passivity. It requires effort, followed by surrendering the result to Allah's wisdom. Through His guidance, reliance becomes a source of strength, not weakness. Trusting Allah frees the heart from excessive attachment to control and expectations. It nurtures confidence that whatever unfolds is allowed by divine knowledge, shaping a believer who moves through life with balance, humility, and spiritual confidence. Repeating a dhikr 100 times daily builds consistency, which transforms remembrance from an occasional act into a spiritual discipline. This repetition trains the mind to return to Allah throughout the day, even when distractions arise. Over time, the words settle deeply into the consciousness, shaping thought patterns and emotional responses. Sincerity gives life to repetition. When each recitation is done with awareness, the heart gradually becomes more attentive and receptive. The number itself encourages commitment and focus, helping the believer remain present. Through this practice, remembrance becomes a steady source of spiritual strength rather than a fleeting moment of comfort. Tawakkul grows when a believer repeatedly turns to Allah before turning to worry. Dhikr reinforces the understanding that outcomes are not controlled by effort alone, but by divine permission. This realization reshapes how challenges are approached, replacing desperation with composure. Through consistent remembrance, trust shifts from theory into lived experience. The heart learns to release excessive concern about results while remaining responsible in action. This balance creates spiritual maturity, where reliance on Allah becomes instinctive. Over time, the believer develops confidence that support is always near, even when answers are delayed or unseen. Anxiety often stems from racing thoughts and imagined outcomes that overwhelm the mind. Dhikr interrupts this cycle by grounding attention in remembrance, slowing mental intensity. As the tongue repeats sacred words, the nervous system gradually relaxes, allowing emotional pressure to ease. Emotional pain, whether from loss or uncertainty, feels less heavy when shared through remembrance. Dhikr provides a safe spiritual outlet, allowing feelings to settle without suppression.